In the heart of Africa, nestled between rolling hills and lush valleys, lies a town of breathtaking beauty. The land here is rich and fertile, blessed with an abundance of natural resources that have sustained the town and its people for generations. As the sun rises over the horizon, casting a warm glow over the town, the earth comes alive with the vibrant colors of blooming flowers and thriving crops. Maize, millet, and sorghum grow tall and strong, their golden stalks swaying gently in the breeze. The air is filled with the sweet scent of ripening fruit, mingling with the earthy aroma of freshly tilled soil. The people of the town are skilled farmers, tending to their fields with care and dedication. From dawn till dusk, they work tirelessly, planting seeds, tending to crops, and harvesting the fruits of their labor. Their hands are weathered, their backs strong, as they toil under the African sun to ensure a bountiful harvest. But farming is not the only livelihood in this town. It is also home to skilled cattle herders who tend to their animals with care and dedication. Each day, they lead their cattle out to graze in the lush meadows and verdant pastures surrounding the town, ensuring their animals are well fed and cared for. The herders have a deep respect for their animals, viewing them not just as possessions, but as companions and partners in their daily lives. As the sun sets over the horizon, casting a warm glow over the landscape, the herders lead their cattle back to the safety of the town, their work for the day done. The town is alive with activity, busy markets where vendors sell fresh produce, handmade crafts, and other goods. Children play in the streets, their laughter ringing out like music, filling the air with joy and innocence. This town is a vibrant tapestry of sights, sounds, and smells, a evidence to the strength and spirit of its people. It is a place where the land and its inhabitants live in harmony, each contributing to the other's well-being. And as the stars twinkle in the night sky, casting a soft light over the town, one can't help but feel a sense of peace and contentment, knowing that this town is truly a place of beauty and abundance. Despite their success stories, they are under constant attacks by demons. The sorcerers, witches, and wizards wielded their dark magic with impunity, inflicting pain and suffering upon the king, chiefs, and villagers. They would conjure spells that caused excruciating physical and mental torment, leaving their victims writhing in agony. The demons demanded sacrifices from the king, instructing him to offer up valuable possessions, livestock, or even human lives. Failure to comply with their demands would result in dire consequences for the entire town. The king, torn between his duty to protect his people and his fear of the demons' power, would often reluctantly agree to their demands, hoping to spare his people from further suffering. But even when the king acquiesced, the demons' cruelty knew no bounds. They would bring drought upon the land, withering crops and drying up rivers and streams. The once fertile fields would become barren wastelands, and the people would suffer from hunger and thirst. The villagers, already living in fear of the demons' wrath, would be driven to desperation by the drought. They would pray to the gods for relief, offering sacrifices of their own in the hopes of appeasing the malevolent spirits. But the demons remained unmoved, their thirst for suffering seemingly insatiable. As these ugly events prolonged, many villagers left their homes to sojourn in other places. The once busy streets grew quiet as families packed their belongings and set out on the long and arduous journey to find safety and solace elsewhere. The town, once teeming with life, began to empty, its houses standing silent and empty, a stark reminder of the devastation wrought by the demons. Despite their sorrow at leaving behind their homes and livelihoods, the villagers knew that they had no choice but to seek refuge elsewhere, lest they fall victim to the demons' relentless attacks. And so, with heavy hearts and hopeful spirits, they set out into the unknown, praying that one day they would be able to return to their beloved town and rebuild what had been lost. Far away in another town, a prophet of God was known for performing special wonders in the land. God revealed to him in a revelation about his new assignment in the land where they were being afflicted by demons. The prophet hesitated, feeling inadequate for the task, much like Jeremiah did. However, God assured him that he would be with him and that he would deliver the community from the siege. After much contemplation, the prophet decided to heed the call and embark on this challenging journey. Immediately after deciding to go, the demons in charge became aware of the prophet's assignment and tried everything in their power to hinder him from coming. They sent storms to his ship, but he managed to escape. Upon landing in a neighboring town, he eventually made his way into the afflicted town under the cover of night. A compassionate villager took him in, providing him shelter and safety. However, word soon spread to the king that a stranger had entered their town. The prophet was brought before the king, where he courageously revealed the purpose of his mission and how he intended to deliver the community from the siege of the demons. The king, chiefs, and villagers did not believe in the stranger. They argued that if their gods could not deliver them, they doubted if another god could. In annoyance, the king ordered the guards to put the man of God in prison. However, something strange happened. There was an outcry from the palace as the first son of the king collapsed and died suddenly. Seeing an opportunity to demonstrate the power of his God, the prophet confidently declared that he would wake the young man up. The people, still skeptical, mocked him. Undeterred, the prophet prayed fervently, and miraculously, the son came back to life. The resurrection of the king's son sparked immense joy and jubilation throughout the town. This miraculous event served as a turning point, as the people began to believe in the power of the man of God and his God. It marked the beginning of their liberation from the siege of the demons, as they embraced their new faith and the hope it brought. The news quickly spread to the coven of demons, who immediately began making plans to attack the prophet. The next morning, they approached the king with a demand from their gods. They demanded that the stranger be handed over to them as a sacrifice to avert further calamity that was about to befall the village. The king, torn between his fear of the demons and his newfound belief in the prophet, was in a dilemma. He was reminded of all the evil that had befallen them in the past from failing to honor the demons' request. The pressure mounted as the king weighed the consequences of his decision, knowing that whatever choice he made would have far-reaching effects on the village and its people. A meeting of the elders was called to address the demand of the demons. Opinions were divided. Some agreed to let the sacrifice proceed, while others vehemently opposed the idea. In the midst of the deliberations, the prophet was summoned. Standing before the assembly, the prophet assured them that the God in whom he believed would save them from the impending calamity. He proposed an immediate prayer session in the palace, inviting all who believed to join him. As the prayer session commenced, the presence of God was palpable. Miracles began to unfold before their eyes. The sick were healed, the blind regained their sight, and the deaf could hear. These signs and wonders sparked a renewed faith among the people, many of whom had previously doubted. They began to believe once again in the power of the prophet's God to deliver them from the clutches of the demons. A reminder was sent to the king by the demons, urging him to comply with their demand for the sacrifice of the prophet. In a desperate attempt to sway the king and those who believed in the prophet, the wizards, witches, and sorcerers tried to manipulate some villagers against them. However, their efforts proved futile as the king and the elders stood firm in their faith. The villagers, who had witnessed the signs and wonders performed by the prophet, remained steadfast in their belief. The attempts of the demons to sow discord and doubt among them were unsuccessful, as their faith in the prophet's God only grew stronger. In the depths of their secret coven, the witches, wizards, and sorcerers conspired together, weaving a powerful enchantment aimed at destroying the spirit of the prophet. Their dark magic swirled ominously, casting shadows and filling the air with a sense of impending doom. However, just as they completed their malevolent spell, a blinding light filled the room. The angel of God appeared, majestic and fierce, with wings that glowed like molten gold. With a voice that echoed like thunder, the angel called down fire from the heavens. Flames erupted in a blazing inferno, engulfing the entire coven. The witches, wizards, and sorcerers screamed in terror as the holy fire consumed them, leaving nothing but ashes in its wake. The power of the divine had triumphed, and the prophet's spirit was saved from their nefarious scheme. The news spread quickly through the market square about the miraculous events at the demon's coven. It was seen as the beginning of a new dawn in the village, a sign that their troubles were finally coming to an end. With the defeat of the demons and their minions, the village experienced a resurgence of its lost glory. The people rejoiced and celebrated in the market square, their jubilation echoing through the streets. It was a time of great joy and relief, as the community looked forward to a future free from the fear and suffering that had plagued them for so long. And so, with hearts full of gratitude and hope, the villagers embraced this new chapter in their lives, knowing that they had emerged victorious against all odds.
Thank you for watching. For more African folktales, be sure to subscribe to our channel.